You ever find yourself just completely frozen by a super simple choice? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. In this explainer, we're going to dive into this weird paradox, why really smart people can get totally stuck on the easiest decisions.
Oh, you totally know the feeling, right? You're in the grocery store, just staring, paralyzed by a wall of orange juice options. Anyone walking by probably thinks you're just indecisive, maybe a little lost, but what's actually going on in your head? Well, it's way more complex, and honestly, it's pretty fascinating.
And that little moment of paralysis, over something that feels so small, like picking a movie or what coffee to buy, it can be so frustrating, right? It's this agony of choice.
And what's the first thing we do? We beat ourselves up about it. The story we tell ourselves is never kind, is it? It's always, why can't I just pick something? I'm so indecisive. We start thinking it's some kind of personal flaw, something we need to fix.
Okay, but here's the twist. What if that's completely wrong? What if that struggle isn't a weakness at all, but actually a sign of something pretty remarkable going on up there?
So let's just reframe this whole thing. The myth that you're indecisive, but the reality, it's usually a sign of a highly intelligent, super analytical mind doing its thing. You're not stuck, you're processing.
All right, so let's pull back the curtain and look at the hidden logic your brain is running. Because once you get what's happening behind the scenes, you'll realize this isn't a bug in your programming. Nope, it's a feature. First up, there's this thing called cognitive complexity. The best way to think about it is your brain's default setting is high def. While other people see in standard definition, you're constantly scanning for patterns, weighing all these hidden variables, and basically running simulations of what might happen. It's a level of detail most people just miss.
And that goes hand in hand with something called cognitive reflection. This isn't just your mind wandering, it's an active skill. It's the ability to hit pause on your first gut feeling and say, wait a second, and then really dig deeper. You don't just take the easy answer, you poke at it, you challenge it.
So what does this actually look like? Well, a simple thought like, okay, which juice? Just explodes into this huge web. You're thinking about sugar contents, acidity, the price per ounce, is it organic, what's the brand's deal with ethical sourcing? Heck, you're even calculating the odds you'll finish it before it goes bad. It's multidimensional.
And wait, there's more. It doesn't even stop there. You've got other traits that smart people often have that just pile on more layers. Things like intellectual humility, a little bit of perfectionism, and even this funny thing called selective organization. You know, where your work files are perfect, but your closet looks like a disaster zone?
Intellectual humility. It's kind of a superpower, really. It just means you know what you don't know. So while someone else might just confidently grab the first thing they see, you're the one thinking about all the nuances and complexities they're blowing right past. And that, of course, makes you hit the brakes.
And then you throw perfectionism into the mix. It's that little voice inside that wants the best possible choice, the optimal one. So you're not just buying juice, you're on a mission to make the absolute best, most informed orange juice decision possible. It's like this commitment to quality that you can't turn off.
But all of this deep thinking comes at a price. Operating at this level all the time, it can be absolutely exhausting, and it creates a very specific kind of problem.
And that problem is called cognitive overload. Your brain is so busy running all this deep analysis that when it comes to a simple, random task, it just short circuits. Your mental bandwidth is completely maxed out. It makes it almost impossible to just pick something.
There's this quote that just nails the two sides of this coin. Being a deep thinker is a gift, for sure. It lets you solve crazy complex problems and see things no one else does. But man, it can also be a heavy weight, especially when all you want to do is buy some juice and go home.
So what's the takeaway here? It's really about embracing a totally different way of looking at what it means to be smart and how that actually plays out day to day.
Look, the most important thing you can do is just stop that negative self-talk. You're not broken, you're not slow, and you are not hopelessly indecisive. Those labels, they just don't fit what's actually happening here.
Instead, try to see it for what it is. You're just wired differently. Your brain runs on a level of depth and sensitivity that, it needs a little more time to process, and that's not something to be ashamed of. It's just how your brilliant mind works.
So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. What's the simplest, silliest decision that's ever sent you down an overthinking rabbit hole? Just thinking about it is a great reminder that if this sounds like you, well, you're in very, very good company.